Thus, if the yogi wants to know the real individual physical and mental qualities in his being, he simply needs to look at them right at the moment of arising. The yogi must observe without a break, very second of the time. There shouldn't be any letting True nature can be known by thinking and reflecting. Let's say a person has never eaten an apple, but has heard repeatedly that they are sweet and cool, and apple's taste is sweet, and it is cool to the touch. Put an apple in front of that person and just by reciting it's sweet, it's a cool, she cannot know it is a sweet taste and cool touch. Bite the apple, chew it and see its sweet taste is sure to reach the tongue. And the sixth base of Kayapasada separate throughout the tongue, will surely come to know the coolness. Observing at the moment of arising to know true nature is just like knowing an apple's cool touch and sweet taste by eating the apple. In the phrase, only then is true nature sure to be seen, means that if the yogi doesn't observe at the very moment, but instead reflects, she cannot know. The yogi can't know true nature by hearing about it or studying. Observe the natural phenomena in the body as they arise. The mental energies just mentioned, obligation of energy and aim must be present. If these two are present, later on, sati and samadhi will automatically arise. When these factors reach fulfillment, the yogi will come to know what is really there as it really is. This is not known by imagination. The beginning yogi, right at the start of the practice, can't yet see sabhava. The beginning yogi, right at the start of the practice, can't yet see sabhava. For example, say the yogi is sitting, he places the mind on the abdomen. He observed again and again in order to see the true nature existing at the moment of the rising and the moment of the falling. When there is a little bit of samadhi, concentration, the mind perceives the form of the abdomen. Form is a concept or pinyati. The mind can perceive that concept. From time to time, the mind can also perceive the manner of rising and falling called akarat. When observation is strong enough, the mind goes past the appearances, form, santana in Pali, and mana, akara. If it penetrates to the quality of attention, it will know tension. If it penetrates to tightness, it will know tightness. That is knowing true nature, sabhava. It is a search, form, manner, true nature, understand these three. The yogi must understand there are these three levels of seeing. Further, a yogi cannot know true nature, sabhava, with the very first noting. The yogi must concentrate so that the mind becomes clean. Only when mental energy is full strength is there knowing. Thus, there is just one job if the yogi wants to know the gross, medium, and subtle kinds of the true nature or sabhava in the body. That is to observe at the moment of arising. Let us say the yogi makes a fist. If the yogi makes a fist in an ordinary way without any mindfulness, he won't know anything at all. He will not know the hand or the act of clenching. The act of clenching, he will not be able to know the true nature existing at the moment of clenching either. What is done and mindfully is simply without awareness. He won't know anything. But if the yogi focuses carefully and observes the clenching even before true nature is known, the mind will stick with the hand. It won't go anywhere else. It can perceive the form of the hand. It can also perceive the tightness of the hand, or it may perceive it, tightness together with the clenching. Even before it can perceive the true nature, if the mind can perceive the shape of the hand and its manner or akaras of clenching, it is not running anywhere else. That is a pure consciousness arising. Later, when viriyat, sati and samadhi become strong, the mind will come to find tension, stiffness, or tightness when noting the clenching. That is knowing sabhava. That is knowing sabhava. Thus, form, manner, the true nature, understand these three. It is said, observe what is apparent. See what you come to know. When the clenching happened, did you note it? Yes, what did you see or feel there? See, your personal experience. If you saw the hand, yogi say, I saw the hand. If you felt the manner of a clenching, say, I felt the clenching, or it became tight. It became tense. In the phrase, form, manner, true nature, understand these three. The first two are not true nature. The first two are not true nature. Sabhava, tightness, stiffness, and tension. Those are true nature. The meditation that the yogis are practicing now involves looking so as to see this true nature. There is no need to think, what is it? How is it happening? Why is it happening? When looking in that way, the yogi's joke is interrupted. If she thinks about these things, this is called wasting time. It doesn't amount to using time beneficially. Thus, if the yogi wants to get a genuine sabhavat, she needs to observe at the moment of arising as instructed all the time, except for the time she is first asleep. Except for the time she is first asleep. For example, if the yogi wants to know the true nature occurring now at the moment of the hearing, he must observe at the moment of the hearing with the method of the satipatthana. Of course, the ear is one kind of true nature occurring at the moment of the hearing, but ear does not refer to the physical ear. Within the physical ear, there is an element, the ear base, capable of capturing sound. People can hear because of the ear base. Without the ear base, they cannot hear. When the ear base is broken, nothing at all can be heard. A sound wave must also be present. If a sound wave comes and strikes the ear base, a person hears. Hearing consciousness arises. Together with the hearing consciousness, there is the quality of a contact between the sound wave and consciousness within the ear. This is called the hearing contact or phasa. At the moment of the hearing contact, if the sound is one the yogi likes, it is good to hear. It feels pleasant. If a sound is not a likable one, then it feels bad to hear. It feels unpleasant. There are also feelings that are neither pleasant nor unpleasant, but simply neutral. The beginning yogi does not perceive neutral feelings. He knows the feeling of the pleasantness or unpleasantness. Therefore, as far as mental qualities go, there is a hearing consciousness, hearing content, and hearing feeling. Hearing feeling. The first two elements described, the ear waves and the sound wave, are physical. The Buddha called physical things rupa. The later elements, hearing consciousness, hearing content, and feeling, are mental, called nama. Nama, rupa are occurring together. It cannot be denied that the ear base and the sound wave exist at the moment of hearing, no matter what sort of reason is given. Their existence cannot be denied. It also cannot be said that hearing consciousness, hearing content, and hearing feeling do not exist. These definitely occur. What occur is really there, the Buddha thought to observe with this method at the moment of hearing in order to know the qualities that are really and truly present. It isn't necessary to know them individually, thinking that's the ear base, that's the sound wave, that is hearing consciousness, hearing content, and hearing feeling. The occurrence of these three things is commonly called hearing. Commonly called hearing. Thus, the yogi should know the hearing as a whole. If a reflection arises at the moment of hearing, wondering what it is, how it is happening, or why it is happening, the yogi will not be able to observe the object in time. It will have passed away because arising and passing away is very fast. Very fast. When meditating in order to understand about oneself, if there is a lot of thinking, meditation does not occur. This meditation practice is a study of one's own being. Simply put, it is doing self-research. Doing if self-research. The instructions say to observe the hearing, why it is happening. Why it is happening by noting it as a whole and using a mental level hearing in order to know the nama rupa that really exist at the moment, at that moment. The yogi should live things as they are in simple words. Only if the yogi knows it as a whole, will it be easy for samadhi to arise and knowledge to occur as well. For example, if you want to look at the photo of someone's face, for example, if you want to look at part of someone's face, you can begin by focusing on that one part of his face. You have to look at his whole face. You and he must be facing each other. If you stare at him, first of all, you will come to know the whole face. Continuing to look from time to time, the mind will go to his forehead and will know the forehead. When the mind goes to the bridge of the nose, it will know the bridge of the nose. If it goes to the cheek, it will know the cheek. If it goes to the mouth, it will know the mouth. If it goes to the chin, it will know the chin. When looking, focusing on the whole, the mind goes to one part after another. The mind goes to one part after another. Whichever part is happens to notice by means of attention or manasikara, observing the object is similar to this. Similarly, now at the moment of hearing, the yogi must note it as a whole. Later, she will come to know the ear distantly, that this is where the hearing comes from. Hearing comes from, the sound comes in here and twice. There is a hearing. The mind and the song makes a contact in the ear from time to time. It is pleasant to hear or it is unpleasant to hear. When the mind falls on one or another of the components present at the moment of hearing, it knows that part. Knowledge has not arisen yet. Right at the start of noting, only when one moment of noting follows another closely, so that the mind becomes quite clean, does the yogi come to know distantly. That is rupa, that is nama, that is nama and rupa. For discerning of nama and rupa, first of all, the yogi must prevent kilesa from arising in connection with the hearing. If the yogi knows, as soon as a hearing occurs, sati will get there first, because it gets there first. Sati protects the mind due to protection, even though hearing a pleasurable, desirable song, etaramanat, desire or ragat, lobha, will not arise. When hearing an undesirable sound, aneta ramanat, anger or dosa will not arise. It is very important for these qualities of lobha and dosa not to arise. The fact that these qualities do not have a chance to arise has the nature of protection, the mind in advance, the mind in advance. When one moment of consciousness follows another without a gap, and the mind is filled with energy, purity of mind, Sayadaw is sure to arise. The yogi must always be ready to apply effort in order to be able to observe hearing as soon as it happens. The mind should be awake, active, and alert. It must be decisive. It cannot be slow and sluggish. It cannot be slow and sluggish. The mind should not become slack. There should be no laziness. If the mind is slow, sluggish, or slack, the yogi cannot observe the hearing right at the very moment it occurs. But if the yogi applies virya as soon as hearing occurs, sati will occur regarding the hearing. The mind will not go anywhere else. Samadhi will also arise. Virya keeps the laziness from entering the mind. Sati protects the mind so that defilements do not enter the stream of consciousness. The mind becomes secure, momentary samadhi, unifies the mind so that it does not become scattered. These fetters of virya, sati, and samadhi reach the moment of hearing. The mind containing them becomes pure and clean. As long as this consciousness is arising, the lobha that could arise in connection with the hearing. If the mind were permitted to go free, has no opportunity to arise, nor does dosa have an opportunity to arise. These are quote. This is the immediate benefit gained by the meditating yogi. The observances or defilements, pariyotana kilesa, have no opportunity to arise because nothing takes their place. When pure consciousness arises again and again, that is called mental development, bhavana in Pali. We take magilesa, which manifest as physical and verbal transgressions, can be removed with the silat. In the same way, kilesa are removed in the moment that the virya, sati, and samadhi occur. At the moment, the observed defilements, priyodhana kilesa, that could arise when virya, sati, and samadhi are absent, have no chance to arise. No chance to arise. They are quiet. That is called prevention. Prevention is very important. Just like taking preventive measures before a disease breaks out. Now, too, This is like taking preventive measures so that the defilements of raga and dosa have no chance to arise. While observing what to do if raga or dosa arises due to a lapse in noting, of course, it is good to prevent disease in advance before it breaks out. When disease occurs, treat it at once. Here too, remove that arising defilements of raga by noting it at once. Remove the defilement of dosa by noting it at once. Prevention and cure means just this. This is the way to observe as a whole in order to know the mental and physical qualities that really exist at the moment of hearing. In the occurrence with the methods of prevention and cure. Similarly, at the moment of seeing, there is the eye base and there is the visible object. Those are physical, there are seeing consciousness, seeing contact, and seeing feeling. Those are mental. At the moment of seeing, physical and mental components are evident. The yogis must note this evident, real physical and mental phenomena at the very moment seeing occurs. The yogis should observe them as a whole, labeling it as seeing. In the same way, at the moment of smelling, there is the nose. Odors enter the nose. There is a receptor element or sense base capable of receiving the odor. When odors are carried on the wind, they enter and strikes the sense base. Fragrant smells come as well as fond odors. All kinds of odors come and strike the sense base. There is no other smell. The odor and the mind come into contact within the nose. If foul odors are breathed in, they are bad to smell. The feeling is unpleasant. If delightful fragrance are smelled, they are good to smell. The feeling is pleasant. Feelings arise. That is the way mental dhammas arise at the moment of smelling. This must be noted as soon as smelling occurs. When observation gets to the object first, dosa will not arise due to smelling forward odors. Lobha will not arise due to smelling pleasant fragrances. Noting protects the mind from lobha and dosa. If in fact they arise, then the yogi must cure them by noting them. Physical and mental components arise at the moment of eating and drinking as well. There are receptors spread all over the tongue that are capable of capturing the 6 flavors: sweet, sour, hot, astringent, salty, and bitter. When a person chews a bit of solid food in her mouth, its flavor emerges. This reaches the tongue. When there is a sweetness, she knows sweetness. When there is a sour taste, she knows the sour flavor. The taste and consciousness come together on the tongue. If the yogi tastes a flavor she likes, it feels good to taste. When tasting something disagreeable, it feels bad to taste. In this, feelings arise. This is how physical and mental components occur together at the moment of eating and drinking. In order to know them, the yogi should not lose her mindfulness while eating. There are tangible objects in the body too. There are receptors called kaya prasadas, separated throughout the body, everywhere that there is moisture or flesh. These are capable of capturing tangible objects. There are no touch receptors in the hair, fingernails, and toenails, where neither blood nor air circulate. There are 3 kinds of tangible matter. One type is hard, soft, coarse, or delicate. Another is a heat, warmth, and cold. Another is a stiffness, tension, and movement. Among the kinds of matter, these 3 are tangible. There is a lot of the tangible matter within the body. There is also a lot of outside of the body. When tangible objects come from outside and strike the body base, kaya prasada, then when something hard strikes, a person knows hardness. When something soft strikes the body base, he knows a softness. If something coarse strikes, he knows coarseness. If something delicate strikes, he knows the delicate touch. When he strikes, he knows heat. When cold strikes, he knows cold. When stiffness strikes, he knows stiffness. When something tense and tight strikes, he knows a tightness. These moments of knowing arise time and again. There is the quality of a contact, phasa, between the tangible object and consciousness at the body base. When there is a contact with a hot touch, there is a pleasant feeling. When there is a contact with a disagreeable tangible object, there is an unpleasant feeling. Those are group of mental qualities. The yogi must note them at every bending, stretching, leaning, raising of the head, lifting, moving, and placing in order to know them. In order to know them, to use words that everyone understands The mental and physical dhammas just mentioned are apparent at such times as bending or stretching the arm or leg, leaning, looking, lifting, moving, placing, standing still, and sitting down. When there is a cause to perform these actions, if the yogi wants to know them, she must keep on observing these actions. When observing, she can come to know the physical and mental dhammas that exist during those actions. Even before coming to know these dhammas, if there is mindfulness, it will prevent the kilesas that would otherwise have a chance to arise. This is the yogi's personal benefit. Similarly, when imagining or reflecting, mental and physical dhammas are apparent. These are not directly seen, heard, smelled, tasted, or touched. However, there is imagination. These objects of the imagination or Dhammat objects appear at the mind door, Manodwarat in Pali. This type of object is not automatically something seen, but appears to be seen, not actually something heard, but as if heard, as if smelled, tasted, or touched. Whatever appears, whether good or bad, or imagination, reflecting and thinking are simply things to be noted. Okay, that's all for today. May you be well and happy. May you be able to practice meditation ardently and energetically. May you understand the Dhamma clearly and see things as they really are. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.